Whether you're new to online learning or you're an old pro, you know that effective communication is one of the most important things. If you're transitioning from a fully on-ground class to a fully online class, having a great welcome email will help you orient your class to what they should expect in their new online environment. This document is intended just to serve as a guide to the sorts of topics you'll want to make sure you include in your initial email to your students. You'll want to start by taking them through the communication model you'll use for your new class. Explain to them how you'll use email, whether you'll be using your LMS or the university email system. Explain to them how often they should check their email and within what parameters they should expect you to return emails. I like to say how many hours it will take me to return an email, but you may choose to speak in terms of days if you want to keep it more consistent with your 3-time-a-week class meeting. If you're choosing the LMS email system as the way the students should communicate with you, make sure to explain to them how to use it, how to find your name in the class list, and be sure to explain to them that it's a closed email system that should only be used for conversations about course materials. Next, explain to them how you'll use the announcements tools. LMS announcements are a great way to push out important information to the whole class at one time. Tell them how often you'll be posting, I recommend 3 times a week, and where they should look to find that information. Speaking of passing out information, discussion boards are a great way to allow students to share information not just with you, but with each other. I recommend creating a Q&A board so that the students can post course-related questions, whether related to the content or the technology. That way, email can be used for personal questions, such as a grade on an assignment or a specific problem with a writing assessment, and they can use the Q&A board to talk to each other. Encourage them to check the board often, not just to see if someone else answered their question, but to answer any questions for students they may know. You'll also want to talk to students about your new office hours. Assure them that you'll still be available to them just as much as when you were sitting in your office, but how you'll be available to them may be different. Talk to them about the web conferencing tools you'll be using, what your new office hours may be if they've changed, and whether you'll be talking to them via phone, web conferencing, or the LMS chat feature. Next, you'll want to directly address the way you'll be distributing course content in the course. This may be through the LMS content as print materials, as links to ebook sources, or as videos. Whatever you choose, make sure students understand that this is not something that is optional. This is what's replacing their regular class meetings. If you're going to have class sessions, talk to them about that as well. If you'll be meeting synchronously, which means at the same time, make sure you explain to them what time and what days you'll be meeting, and make sure you link them to any web conferencing tools you'll be using. You'll also want to remind them to check their computer speakers and microphones so that they'll be prepared when it's time for class to start. If you are meeting synchronously, I'd encourage you to archive your meetings and post them later because students may have had to change their schedule due to emergency situations as well. Next, you'll want to talk to students about how to submit assignments, where you'll receive them, whether they should be using discussion boards, drop boxes, quiz tools. It's also helpful if you're able to post a link to your updated course schedule right here. If it's possible, note beside each assignment where it should be submitted or make the actual assignment name a hyperlink that takes them right to the course tool. Because students may be working online for the first time, link them to any tools and technology they'll need to be successful in the course from now on. If your university provides free Office products such as Office 365, tell them how to use that and link them to those resources. If not, here are some free resources that are pretty easily accessible, understandable, and students may already be familiar with them. Go ahead and provide the links in your welcome letter to whatever technology you need them to download in order to succeed in the class. As a final thought for your students, remind them that you'll be working with them through this transition. While both of you may have questions and may even be uncomfortable in this environment, you understand that being flexible and practicing good communication will help you all to succeed.